Hello friends, are you haunted by the questions? That why are you asked not to talk while you eat? Or why does your chest expand and contract while you breathe? If you want the answers for these questions, then you are at the right place. This is Veena and you're watching Veena's EduGrid. So in the previous video, we learned the pathway of air from the nasal cavity into the trachea and into the lungs. Today we shall learn about the function of epiglottis and the pharynx. Now you can see this is the nasal passage and this is your oral cavity or your mouth cavity. Now when air passes from the nasal cavity into the trachea and the food passes from the mouth into the food pipe, this passage is common for both, for the passage of air and for the passage of food. And at this passage, just below our tongue, lies the pharynx. And this pharynx is like how you have in the traffic. You have your traffic signals, you have your traffic police. When the traffic signal is red, all the vehicles stop. And when the traffic signal is green, all the vehicles move. And there is a traffic police which will control the movement of the vehicles. So, same way, pharynx is a junction where the air also enters and food also enters. So here we have, like we have the traffic signals and traffic police, we have the valve like structure known as epiglottis. So here you have epiglottis. This is a valve like structure. What happens when you breathe in? When you are taking in air from the nostrils into the nasal cavity, this epiglottis opens wide and the air from the nasal cavity, it enters into the trachea and then into the lungs. But what happens while you eat is, when you are eating or when you are swallowing your food, the epiglottis partially gets closed. So the food from here enters into the food pipe. But when you talk, what happens? The vibrations which are caused in the vocal cords and in the trachea will allow maybe the food particles from the food pipe can enter into the trachea, and this can cause choking in your trachea. And when a choking is caused, you must have seen people hit them on their head or hit them on the back, and when the food particles come out, the person feels relaxed. This is and if it enters into the lungs, it can cause many serious problems. So that is why it is said that you should not speak or you should not talk while you are eating, while you are swallowing your food. So this is you have learned now the function of epiglottis. It acts like a valve and it is at the junction, that is pharynx, and how it controls the movement of air into the trachea and the movement of food into the food pipe. So it plays a very important role. Now let us learn about the mechanism of breathing. How do we breathe? What happens is, when we breathe in from the nasal cavity, the air enters into the trachea and then from the trachea it enters into the lungs. Before we learn this, let us learn that lungs are spongy organs. They have no muscles and they are filled with vacuum. They are very well protected by the rib cage. They are protected by the diaphragm below and then the chest muscles. So the lungs are very well protected inside. Now the diaphragm is a muscular membrane which will divide the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. What do you have in the thoracic cavity? You have your pair of lungs and your heart is situated in the thoracic cavity. And in the abdominal cavity, you have your digestive organs like your stomach, liver, spleen, pancreas. All these organs come under in your abdomen. So this membrane, that is a thin membrane, is known as diaphragm, which will separate your thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Actually, it is said that lungs, they do not actually breathe. They do not help in breathing. The breathing usually takes place with the help of the ribs and the diaphragm. What happens is, when you take in air, when you inhale, this diaphragm, it gets flattened. It gets flattened, and when it gets flattened, the volume of the lungs also increase. Because the volume of the lungs increase, the pressure inside the lungs decreases, and due to reduction of pressure, the air from the trachea, it enters into the lungs. Through the bronchioles, it enters into the lungs. Once the lungs are filled with air, then we exhale. when we exhale, the diaphragm again comes back to this dome-like structure. It comes back to this dome-like structure. Due to this, the pressure in the lungs increases, and due to increase in the pressure in the lungs, the air from the lungs passes out. So this is how the breathing takes place. So when we inhale air, this process is known as inspiration. What happens is the diaphragm membrane will flatten, the volume of the lungs increase, due to which the pressure decreases and the air from outside enters into the lungs. And the other process is known as expiration. Expiration is nothing but when we exhale the air. So here what happens? The diaphragm becomes a dome-like structure, the pressure inside the lungs increases, and due to which the air from the lungs goes out through the trachea and out into the nostrils. We exhale out carbon dioxide. This is how the breathing takes place. So breathing is nothing but the inspiration, expiration together forms the breathing process. And there is one question asked, like what is the role of ribs and the role of diaphragm in both male and female? Both male and female. It is said that in the females, the rib cage plays a very important role. You know why? Because it, in order to avoid any injury to the fetus which is growing in the woman's uterus. So to avoid such type of injury, the ribs play an important role in breathing in females. Whereas in males, the diaphragm plays a very important role in the males. So now let us learn. Now once the air has entered into the lungs, what happens to the air in the lungs? We learned that air inside the lungs, the bronchi again divides into very tiny branches known as bronchioles, and these bronchioles are they end with air-like structures known as alveoli. Now let us learn what happens in the alveoli. Now this is one alveoli, and it is guided by a squamous epithelium, and this each alveoli is again guided by one blood vessel. What happens is when air enters into the alveoli, this air is very rich in oxygen, and the blood which is passing over the alveoli, it is coming from the heart. This is your heart, and the blood from the heart, it carries impure blood. This impure blood is very rich in carbon dioxide but very less in oxygen, and oxygen in the alveoli is more. This causes a difference in the concentration of oxygen. So by the process of diffusion, the oxygen from the alveoli enters into the blood, and the carbon dioxide is more in the blood vessel, and concentration of carbon dioxide is less in the alveoli. And due to this again difference of concentration, the carbon dioxide from the blood vessel, it enters into the alveoli, and from there it finds its exit out through the trachea, and out of the body we exhale carbon dioxide. So through the process of diffusion, the oxygen from alveoli enters into the blood, and carbon dioxide from the blood vessel enters into the alveoli. Now what happens to the oxygen in the blood? It combines with the RBC, that is hemoglobin of the RBC. So hemoglobin plus oxygen, it forms HBO. So this is oxyhemoglobin. So oxygen is not simply, it does not go into the blood, but does not pass into the blood, but it combines with hemoglobin and forms oxyhemoglobin, and then it is supplied to, it goes into the heart again, and from the heart this pure blood is supplied to different cells of our body, different parts of our body. Then the cells receive the oxygen, and where cellular respiration takes place, where the food is oxidized and energy is released. Now what is cellular respiration and how it happens, and what is the process of cellular respiration and how energy is released, we shall learn in the further videos. Till then, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you, friends.